What's going on, my beautiful people? Coach Will here. I hope all is well with y'all. And in this video, as you can see the title, did I lose all my gains? What's going on, Will? Are you soft? Are you still hard? Like, what's going on? Pause, that doesn't sound right. But anyway, in this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys basically, did I lose any strength with the past 3 months of me not lifting any serious weights? So just a little bit of background context. For the past 3 months of gyms being closed down, all I've been doing is some basic training with the limited equipment I have here available at home. Here at home, I have my dip stand to do my dips and my rows. I have a pull-up bar. I have Olympic rings to do a little bit of gymnastics work and calisthenics skills. And I have a couple of dumbbells that I can use for my lower body exercises, as well as a little bit of isolation, but nothing crazy. So today I wanted to test out at my good friend's place to see where my strength is currently at, to see did I lose any amount of strength, did I gain any amount of strength, and what do I need to do moving forward with my own training to ensure that I continue progressing and continue making more and more gains. So before I do that, I want you guys to comment down below, do you think I gained or do you think I lost? No cheating though, don't fast forward through the video and be like, oh man, what's going on here, you know? And then put down below that you guessed that, oh yeah, you lost all your gains, Will, or oh yeah, you still got it, or oh yeah, you made even more gains. Like, actually take the time to guess and do the thing, you already know. So with all that out of the way, my beautiful people, like down below, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and do the thing. Share this video for friends, family, dog, cat, hamster, whatever you got going on. The more you get me out there, the more it helps me, so I can help you, so you can help me, and I can help you again. Also, for those of you looking to get into the best shape of your life, I am a NASM certified personal trainer, soon to be certified nutritional coach. So feel free to check the link down below or reach out to me on Instagram at WillToGain. I do both in-person and online coaching. So with that being said, Will, cue the montage.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
We are back. I hope y'all enjoyed that little montage of the workout that I did earlier today. So as you saw, I did a little bit of a back and lower body hybrid setup. And the reason why I like to do that sort of setup every now and then is one of two reasons. The first reason is when it comes to leg training and back training, the movements incorporated in both sort of setups involve a lot of similar muscle groups. So for example, let's say the deadlift, right? The deadlift is a hamstring and glute dominant movement. because of the hip hinge element. However, it is also a lower back, upper back, forearm developer because of the fact that when you're holding that amount of weight in your hands, the barbell is pulling down on your arms, and your traps actually have to stabilize to keep the weight up. The fact that you're using your forearms is just another movement involved in any sort of pulling mechanism that you're doing. And obviously, with you being in that heavy position, the deadlift places an extreme amount of stress on your lumbar spine, thus building the rectors and really giving you that Christmas tree action in the lower back. So that's one reason why I like pairing both muscle groups together. The second reason I like pairing both muscle groups together is because I find that they're two extremely big muscle groups, and the more muscles you can train together, the more calories you're able to burn, and the more work you're able to get done in an efficient and effective manner. So if I'm able to get two muscle groups out of the way in one day, and then give my body time to rest that specific muscle group, and then be able to hit it again while both muscle groups have the same exact amount of time to recover, then not only am I optimizing my programming, but I'm also just doing more benefit for me long term, so I can see more and more gains down the road. So as far as the whole workout went, what did I do? I did some squats, I did deadlifts, I did weighted pull-ups, I did some cheat curls, and I did a couple other things that I didn't involve in the video, just a little bit of rear delt work and a little bit of abdominals, and I'll be showing you guys what I do for that in later videos down the road. But as far as the main movements of the day, the squat, deadlift, and the weighted pull-up primarily, I wanted to test these movements out to see where my strength was on these exercises. So the last time I actually did these three exercises was literally 3 months ago, before gyms closed down. When gyms closed down, obviously I couldn't load up a bunch of weight on me to do my weighted pull-ups because of the fact that the pull-up bar I have at home can't sustain that amount of weight. And obviously I don't have access to a barbell or weighted plates, so I couldn't do any form of squat or deadlift. All I could do really was some goblet squats, pistol squats, and things of that nature. So as you saw, I basically was lifting a bunch of weight, making all the movements look relatively easy. And what does that actually mean? Like, did I gain strength? Did I lose strength? Am I pretty much the same? And the answer is I'm pretty much the same. I'm using the same amount of working weight that I was using 3 months ago. So pretty much I didn't lose any strength. So what did I do to maintain my lower body strength, and what did I do to maintain my pull-up strength? Because I'm clearly still pretty strong in all three movements. So as far as my lower body goes, this is probably the one I was most surprised about myself, because I figured without doing any form of squat or deadlift, it'd basically be trash, right? I'm just gonna be honest now right there. But I even surprised myself when it came to how smooth both movements felt today. And for the squat, I'll start off with the squat. It really came down to proper bracing, and it really came down to applying the tripod foot. So when it comes to proper bracing, that I mean how you actually breathe during the movement. So there's two different ways to breathe during an exercise. You could do basic in and out breathing, where you breathe on the way down of the movement and you breathe on the way up. Or you can do what is known as the Valsalva maneuver, which is basically where you inhale into your diaphragm and you basically brace as if you're gonna get punched in the stomach, and then as you do that, you go down into the movement, or for the squat, on the eccentric portion of the movement, which is you lowering with gravity. You're maintaining that tightness and that bracing in your abdominals and in your diaphragm, and then on the way up, the concentric portion of the movement, where you're forcing yourself against the gravity, you're actually still holding that breath, but you don't exhale until you've actually completed the full movement. So a mistake that I used to make back in the day, even like 3 months ago, was that with my squat in particular, I would actually breathe in, brace, right? I would go down in the hole, but what I would do is I would make the mistake of actually letting my air out on my way up, and that is a big no-no. Reason why is because on your way up, if you're breathing out, you're actually bleeding energy. So you're pushing through the movement, and you're basically letting out that air. So imagine like you fill up an air balloon, right? And it's real big, but then what happens, you start to let it go little by little, the air balloon gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and that's exactly what was happening with me in my squat. But today I fixed my bracing issue, and my squats honestly never felt better. The only thing that felt really uncomfortable was the barbell on my upper traps, and honestly I actually have like a big bruise like right in the middle of my traps from having the barbell on there, mainly because my skin hasn't had a barbell on it in 3 months. So that's probably the only downside that I had as far as my squats go. Other than that, my squats were fantastic. As far as my deadlifts go, once again, the same thing applied. I basically applied the same rules and principles to the deadlift, proper bracing, you know, making sure I'm applying that tripod foot. And for those of you who don't know what the tripod foot is, I have discussed in previous videos, but allow me to pick up my foot real quick and show you what the tripod foot is. So with the tripod foot, we're focusing on 3 points of contact when we're thinking about any lower body movement you're doing. This could be the squat, the deadlift, lunge, whatever it may be. You want to think about grabbing the floor with the ball of your foot that's right below your big toe, the ball of your foot that's right below your pinky toe, and your heel. If you think about actively grabbing with these 3 points of contact with any lower body movement, it makes them feel a lot more efficient and a lot more effective, which will then translate into you being able to apply more force into the ground beneath you, which will then result in bigger numbers down the road. So that's basically what I did with my deadlift. The only downside to my deadlift, because there's pretty much a downside to every movement I did today, except the pull-ups, but I'll get into that in a bit, is I personally use something known as the hook grip when I deadlift. So just a quick little background context in that, when it comes to the deadlift, you have 3 different grips you can use. You can use a double over grip where you basically grab the bar like this. You could use a mixed grip where you have one hand over and then one hand under, or you could use a grip where you basically grab the bar like this, and then you take your fingers and you wrap it over like so, right? And yes, God, that looks painful. How the hell are you able to do that? Well, basically, I build my tolerance over months and months and months to be able to then actually hold a bunch of weight, literally with my thumbs. But the reason for that is the way the bars are set up. See, if you use a double overhand grip, the way bars are manufactured, they naturally rotate. So with you holding the grip like this and the bar wanting to rotate that way, you're using a lot of grip strength, a lot of forearm strength, and that can ultimately limit how much you can actually pull off of the floor. Whereas when you use a mixed grip, basically the underhand, the hand that's facing away from you, so the bar is rotating into the hand that's faced away from you, so this hand is actually stopping it from rotating, and this hand is basically here grabbing it, so it's basically locked in place, right? So that's why people use the mixed grip. However, the reason why I don't use the mixed grip is because the mixed grip, for one, if you don't alternate grips or alternate what hand goes under, what hand goes over, it could lead to imbalances down the road, because you have one shoulder that's externally rotated and then one that's internally rotated, and that could lead to weird postural issues. On top of that, if you're not careful when doing the movement, you can easily pull your bicep tendon, because your hand that's faced away with you is not designed to withstand tons and tons of load on it. So if you're lifting and then for some reason you so happen to bend this even a little bit, boom, you could pull your bicep tendon. So that's why I personally don't like to use the mixed grip, because I want to avoid any form of injury any way I possibly can, right? So I use the mixed grip, and yes, it's extremely painful when you start using it, but basically the way it works is when you have this sort of grip, literally your thumbs are basically what's stopping the bar from rotating. So once you get used to this grip, you have the double overhand grip basically with your conventional double overhand, but you have the added benefit where your grip strength won't be a limiting factor. The only limiting factor will actually be how much pain you can tolerate. So pretty much every time I deadlift, I'm in pain, but the only thing I was really hurting today was my thumbs, so I got to recondition them to the hook grip. So as far as my pull-ups go, the pull-ups were pretty much the lift that I had no trouble with whatsoever with my pull-ups. I've been doing all kinds of pull-up variations here at home. I've been doing overhand, I've been doing underhand, I've been doing muscle up at the parks, I've been doing ring pull-ups, I've been doing ring muscle ups. Like, my vertical pulling strength, basically it's one of my specialties. It's one of my many specialties, and it's something that it would take me not doing any form of pull-up at all to basically lose any form of progress on my pull-ups. That being said, I do feel that my absolute strength on each of the movements has dropped, so meaning my 1 rep max on my pull-up, on my squat, and on my deadlift. So why did I test that out today? Because I'm not a dunce. I'm not gonna go out there max out. Like, no, you don't do that. So what do you do when you're getting back in the gym? Well, you start off easy, gradually work your way up to a weight you feel comfortable with, and get your sets and reps in with that. I usually work anywhere between the 6 to 12 rep range because I like to work strength, also a little bit of hypertrophy to put on that muscle mass. But yeah, just keep it that simple when you get back into the gyms as far as, you know, lifting weights, and just keeping things simple, people. So that was pretty much the whole explanation. I pretty much maintained my strength during this entire time that gyms have been closed down. And what am I gonna do moving forward? So what I plan on doing is I'm going to be going to my friend's house regularly on Mondays. Every Monday is gonna be kind of like a pole leg hybrid setup. I might also go there on Thursdays to get some form of pressing going, maybe tossing a little bit of bench press, a little bit of overhead press. You know, you can never go wrong with having a little extra heavy pressing days as well. As far as with my own workouts and what I do outside of going to my friend's place, I'm gonna be doing my basic calisthenics work that I've been doing this entire time that gyms have been closed down. Gonna be working on my calisthenics skill work, refining my handstands, getting better at my front levers, my back levers, my Olympic ring work. And if you don't know what any of those movements are, don't worry. I got some videos coming on that down the road. You're definitely gonna see what I do as far as my calisthenics training goes as well. So that's the video, my beautiful people. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. That's pretty much what I hope for at the end of every one of my videos. I really want you guys to take something away from what I explain with my own personal experience and what I'm doing for my own training. So that way all of you can apply it to your own training and pretty much, you know, have no problem when it comes to getting some good gains, you know, whether it be trying to get more muscle mass or just trying to live a more healthier lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Health is wealth at the end of the day. So that being said, if you liked the video, leave a like down below. It always helps me out and I always appreciate it. Comment down below on what you would like to see me go over next. Subscribe, turn on post notifications if you are new. And with that being said, my beautiful people, in will we trust. Stay safe.